welcome back. The most perfect knife in the world. Does it exist? First thing people's going to say is, nah, Scab, it doesn't exist. There's no such thing. I submit to you that everyone has their perfect knife. Knives are subjective, right? I don't believe for a second, let me adjust this real quick. I don't believe for a second that there's one knife that'll transform the entire knife world. One knife that would shut all the designers down, all the makers down. They just make that one knife, right? I don't believe that. I believe everybody, though, does have their perfect mind, their perfect knife in mind, right? I do believe people have perfect knives. I was going to make this video on my perfect knife, right? And what I was going to do is show you a couple of knives and tell you why they're perfect for me. And then I talked to Daniel last night on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe from the Steel Mindset. I'm Scab, obviously. We talked to Daniel from 411 Outdoors. And my whole concept for this video changed. And we're going to talk about that. But I want to talk about the perfect knife for 1 second. This is the Saner Scout, made by William Collins. I bring that up because William, the chase for perfection, is what started William making knives. He had a collection. He couldn't find the knife he wanted, so he started making his own. I look at Jonathan from Heavy Set Knife Company. Used to be Heavy Set Tactical. He is chasing perfection. I like talking to guys who are pumped up and fired up and passionate about knives. I'm not talking about knife community stuff and the baggage that comes. I'm talking about knives themselves. Chasing perfection has driven the knife community for some time. Early history, necessity drove invention, right? And they were needing a tool that worked throughout history. Now we're in a day and age where we're at a point in this modern world where we're using different steels, different handle grips. We're using all these different things, not out of necessity, but we're chasing perfection. Let me encourage you, if you're passionate about knives, if you're just starting a channel, or if you don't have a channel and you just love knives, don't lose that fire. Don't give that fire to somebody else because they're negative. Don't do that. Notice I didn't say don't let them take it or steal it. Don't do that. I know it's tough, and I know sometimes even with myself, I know I'm a terrible example and I fire off at people and all that, but I want you to understand a lot of times, while sometimes I'm dead serious, most of the time that's just me being me. But in either case, nobody's taking my passion for knives. I don't make knives and I don't design knives because I love what I do. And I'm going to do another video this afternoon on the direction of the channel and kind of explain some things. And I'm looking forward to that. But let me just say up front, don't ever give up chasing the perfect knife. Don't do that. Don't do that. It drives this community. It makes this community. I'm going to tag a bunch of knife makers and channels in the description and to give your thoughts on either what your idea of the perfect knife is or what we're going to talk about a little bit. Now, there are certain knives that I just love. I love this Elbrus. It looks like a knife, right? I love the shape. This isn't about particular brands, although everybody knows I'm a big Work Tough Gear fan. I love the knives that I picked out, and I'm showing you. It's Work Tough Gear Wednesday, but these are knife shapes that I adore. This is the Red Wolf, right? Now, what happens is this. There is the right knife for the situation that you're in, right? There's knives for fighting, for hunting, for camping, for work, for leisure, for hanging out. There's gentleman's carry. There's all these knives. And then there's the knife that you have on you when a situation arises. One of my dearest friends, one of my dearest brothers in real life on this planet, we call him Ricky Ricardo on the channel. He spent a long time in the SEALs. He really did. I knew him long before the channel. I know him in real life. He did. He is quick to say the perfect knife is the knife you have in hand. Now, he carries a Gerber that he's carried, I think, for about 30 years. Honestly, just a little pocket folder. It does everything he needs it to do. For him, that's perfection. And he's got a box of badass knives he was given, right? That most of us would just drool over. And he's like, you know what makes a knife perfect in a bad situation is your skill set. And I'm going to preach this till I'm dead. Now listen, there are different ideas of perfection. This whole knife tube is so vast, right? And sometimes when I talk about using our stuff, it gets miscommunicated. I'm not taking shots at folks, man. If you are a collector, I get you're not going to go pick out that rare knife and practice with it. I get it. You're not going to stab tires. You're not. But listen to me. Building a basic skill set is essential. That's kind of the direction we're going with some of this How Not to Survive, and I'll talk about that this afternoon. But listen, whether it's slicing a sandwich, whether it's building a fire, slicing paper, opening mail, cutting zip ties, whatever you do, carving a spoon, if you're into carving, there's some guys who are awesome with that. Captain Electro is awesome at carving. Practice that. Get a stick, whittle with it. You're going to be in a situation at some point in your life, if you are a outdoors person or a woods person or a human being, shit happens. See, we throw all of this into self-defense and tactical stuff, and that is important to know too. But listen to me, we can't just disregard that. That's an important piece, but that's not what it's all about. And I thought about last night as I was talking to Daniel, and he was talking about the years of training, and he did some Eskrima, and he had some of the other arts with weapons. And the thought occurred to me, man, that sounds badass, and I would love to do that. But I wanted to tie that into this conversation. Before you go running and trying to do what Daniel does, make sure you can deploy the knife. Make sure you can handle a knife safely. I think even he would say, hey guys, safety first. I know he would, because that's the kind of guy he is. And please go check out that episode. I've been impressed with Daniel since I started watching his channel, and he just reinforced that last night. Awesome guy, very, very knowledgeable. But what I'm saying is, we need to all prep mind, body, and spirit, like Daniel was saying, but you have to start somewhere. And guys, don't let your skill set now embarrass you to where, like, man, well, you know, I'm not that good. Man, listen. Daniel got to a skill set and a point and a place by practicing and working at it. And listen to me, because people say, well, I don't have time. Everybody's got a few minutes, right? I'm not asking you to spend hours every day. What I'm telling you is the perfect knife can exist if you build the right skill set. I'm not going to say perfect skill set. There's no such thing. We're learning and we're evolving every day. I try to. Guys, I love you. Put in the comments what you think about this topic. I'm going to tag it. If I tagged your channel and didn't mention you, no disrespect to you. It means that your opinion has value to me, and I'd like to hear it. Guys, I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son. Love you.